Hey everybody, this is Maximilian, and for this next episode, we decided that the next step is basically to show you guys how you can Mew glitch with Ditto. Basically, the way this works is that you use Ditto to essentially manipulate the type of Pokemon that you're going to encounter with Wild Combat using the Mew glitch. So you start off basically the same way as every other time you do the Mew glitch. Go to either Cerulean or Lavender, get in that encounter, and fly away before the encounter starts. Then what you want to do is fly to Fuchsia and go immediately to the east, which is Route 15, and fight a trainer. You can fight any trainer anywhere, it doesn't matter. I just went there because this is actually where you find the wild Dittos. But you do have to fight a trainer in order for this to work, because you have to exit the battle state, otherwise the game will just think that you're in this perpetual state of battle, which is kind of awkward because you can't access the menus or do anything. So we're going to fight a random trainer, doesn't matter who. I'm just going to blow our way through this, kind of. And then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to bounce around in the grass on Route 15 just east of Fuchsia for a wild Ditto. I believe you can also find them. You can find Dittos anywhere in the grass from the intersection of the route that goes directly east of Vermilion City, southwards towards Fuchsia City. Routes 13, 14, and 15 all have Dittos. So does the Cerulean Cave, where you find Mewtwo, and I think Route 23 is the other one, which is just south of Pallet Town, I believe. You'll notice that I put Mew first in my party, and his special stat is 69. So I'm going to have Mew go first. I'm going to throw an attack out there. Try not to kill the Ditto, because you want Ditto to transform. Now, when Ditto transforms into my Pokemon, he copies not only my movesets, but also all of my stats. So right now, that Ditto has a special of 69. So that's the special stat that's going to be taken into account with the Mew glitch. So then once we defeat him, we fly back to a Cerulean where we originally encountered the trainer. We're going to trip the Mew glitch using the hexadecimal value for 69. And the slot for number 69 is occupied by Missing No. I actually did that one on purpose because I wanted to get some rare candies for this episode, because I'm going to show you how you can essentially manipulate any Pokemon you want for special stats. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to Pallet Town, and I'm going to go right to Route 1, where you first start the game, because that's where you encounter the lowest level Pokemon in the game. And I'm just going to catch the first thing I can find, because these Pokemon all have very low special stats, so it's very easy to manipulate them. I think they start very low, like at 6 or 7, so you can't get below there, but everything below 6 and 7 is fairly easy to catch anyway, so it shouldn't be too hard. Right now I'm just going to catch a low-level Rattata, because Rattata and Pidgey have very low special stats. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use rare candies to level them up, and essentially increase their special stat. Now I raised the special stat of Rattata to 14, so now we're going to do the Mew glitch again, and then we're going to find another Ditto and have it copy the Rattata. And this is basically how you can manipulate any kind of Pokemon in the game for the Mew glitch. I can give you guys a link to the entire table that has every hex value for every Pokemon. So that way, if you do want to find a specific one that you want to catch, you can use that table and look up a specific special value. If you do happen to get like an awkward Pokemon level where it jumps by like 2 special points per level, and you want to get it to an odd amount, because sometimes you will get Pokemon that increase their special stats very quickly, you can use one of the nutritional supplements that's offered in the Pokemon Mart in Celadon. And if I remember correctly, I believe the nutrient that raises special is, let's see, protein is attack, iron is defense, carbos is speed, and I think it's zinc. I'm pretty sure it's zinc, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Leave a comment if I'm wrong, correct me. But one of the nutrients that they sell at the Pokemon Mart in Celadon City will allow you to increment your Pokemon's special stat by 1, I think. I am almost positive on that. But for this case, since it's just a Rattata and its special stat increments very slowly, it's very easy to control. Love you too, Beck. So I'm just going to raise the Dratini's level up so that his special stat eventually hits the one that I want, which in this case is 14, not very hard to get. And you're probably wondering, well, why did you pick 14? I mean, there's got to be a specific reason, right? Well, the reason I picked level 14 is because this Pokemon can't be caught in the game that I currently have right now, and I really don't want to bother trading anymore through another version to get it. So I just decided I would go ahead and get this one. I guess I'll wait for it to come out at the end. You'll see it in a little bit. But the gist of the Ditto glitches, some tips I might want to give you guys. If you do use a Pokemon, make sure you have one that doesn't have anything like Roar or Teleport or anything that can end a wild encounter, because then it just gets really, really awkward. Because I actually tried doing this with Alakazam for a while, and I completely forgot that my Alakazam still knew Teleport. So before I could kill Ditto, it would just teleport away, and you have to actually kill the Pokemon in order to trip the glitch. So make sure that your Pokemon is not going to have some kind of move that'll make it run away. Definitely a good tip to have. And also, make sure you have something that's strong enough to maybe withstand a hit. And that message popped up there because I went into a Pokemon Center beforehand and talked to somebody. So don't be afraid, that doesn't happen all the time. Usually the menu pops up. But the reason I chose 14 was because it trips Gengar. And I didn't really want to trade for it, and I figured, well, that's a nice one to experiment on and show you guys the glitch. Plus, I don't have to use all those rare candies to get to a really, really high level. Because some of them are just insanely high. Like, some of them are in the 180s, and it's just really difficult to get. But yeah, there's a Gengar. And since these Pokemon are all at level 7, they're usually fairly easy to catch. I mean, if you have a Great Ball or an Ultra Ball, usually if you just paralyze them or put them to sleep, you don't even have to do them any damage. It'll just instantly work. When using the Ditto glitch, most people just kind of assume that you have to have the Pokemon that you want to have copied out there first. But I think it's actually easier if you have some other Pokemon at the top of your party, and then once you encounter the Ditto, switch to the Pokemon that you want it to copy. So that way you don't have to damage the Ditto and risk killing it, and you can always switch back to a more powerful Pokemon. Oh, and I just realized that I actually left this Squirtle in the daycare a really long time ago. I can't remember when it was, but it's leveled up to level 24, so I figured, oh my gosh, I gotta get this guy out of there. Just kind of remembered it. So I'm going to take Squirtle out, dump him back in the Pokemon box, and I'm going to shove Bulbasaur in there for a while. Because I really don't want to raise him by myself at the moment. So we're just going to have them go ahead and take care of it for me. Might as well, right? And plus, since I'm walking at twice the normal speed in this game, leveling them up through the daycare center doesn't take nearly as long. So if you're playing on an emulator, definitely a good idea to make use of that daycare center. And besides, by the time you pick them up, you usually have more than enough money anyway. Like, he only charges, I think, 100 Poké-Dollars per level, plus an initial fee of 100 Poké-Dollars. So it's, like, no money whatsoever. I remember when Mirka and I were young, and we kind of got this game, he left, like, an Ekans in the daycare or something. I can't remember what it was. It was, like, at level 8. And then he just completely forgot about it. And then one day he wanted to go to the daycare center to have him race something else. He's like, oh, by the way, I have your Ekans. It's at, like, level 95 right now. And it's just like, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. But yeah, Mirka left his Pokemon in there way too long, and it ended up costing him, like, $10,000 to get it out, which is nothing in retrospect. But I thought it was kind of funny. He just kind of left it in there and completely forgot about it. So you have, like, a level 100 Ekans or whatever. Whatever. It's kind of funny. I don't think I'm going to do that with Bulbasaur, at least I hope not. I really hope I remember to get him out of there, because that'd be really awkward if I didn't.
Here's actually, can I interject a tip here?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can hear me. With the Game Boys, you could, you know, the slopes that you can only go up with the Acrobite?
No.
Like the, or maybe they don't have that on there, but if you find, like, steps or something that if you hold down a button, it'll, like, go back and forth. You just push that and you can, like, leave it on overnight.
Huh.
I don't know if you...
I'm not familiar with anything that allows you to just infinitely step leaving it there. And I don't believe it counts steps if you're moving to a space that can't be occupied. Like if you just kind of run into a wall over and over again.
You may not be able to do it with red or whatever you're doing, but I know with emerald, with...
yeah. You wouldn't be able to do it with red.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, red doesn't have a lot of the more sophisticated movement techniques that the newer generations have, so you can't quite abuse it, but you still move fast enough, at least, to make it worth your while.
And you get some sort of programmer to get it to just go back and forth. It's very simple.
Probably
just leave
could.
it on overnight, boom.
You could just hire some, like, gnome or something to move left and right for you back and forth over and over again. cheap labor, unless you're just that lazy. But I actually had to go through the Safari Zone twice because I had forgotten the route. Like, at one point I knew this route by heart, and I could do it just without even thinking about it. And then I realized I made a few stupid turns, so I realized, oh, well, I'm not going to get it in this I'm not going to get it in this take, so I had to go through it a second time. I didn't actually catch too many Pokemon, I don't think, in this. I maybe caught a few things, but my box was full. And plus, the hardest things to get in the Safari Zone, I pretty much have already. I think the only one I don't have is Kangaskhan, and I'm probably going to get that glitching anyway, except that one's going to require a lot more manipulation because it has it is the hex slot for 2. And getting a Pokemon to have a special of 2 in this game is very hard. I'm just going to point that out. I don't know of many Pokemon that have it. I'm going to have to find like a level 150 Magikarp or something and then grow it back recursively to level 0. I'll also show you guys how to do that one in the game once we get to Cinnabar Island. That's because that's an interesting glitch you can do. Because normally when you register your name and you do the whole old man glitch, you encounter some Pokemon that are over level 100. And as long as you keep using rare candies while they're over level 100, they'll grow until they hit 255, and then they'll go back to 0. That has to do with integer overflow again, but you heard enough about that the first time I talked about it, so I'm going to spare you the details on that one. But here's my second take on the Safari Zone, and I am going to get all the way through it this time. And in this part of the Safari Zone, the last part, you will get the gold teeth, which you need to get the HM04, which is strength. And you will also get Surf, which is amazing. Surf allows you to do everything in this game. Unfortunately, we have to beat Koga in order to use it. So that may be our next objective. I'm going to probably head to Saffron and see what's going on up there, because I may be able to level grind a little bit more. Since I'm saving all of those trainers along routes 13 through 15 for Mew glitching later, I don't want to waste them right now because I know I'm going to need them, so I might as well save them. But our party may be a little behind par for a while, so bear with me if I just have some outrageously low-level Pokemon. But trust me, we're getting to this point in the game where you just start to take total control. I mean, if I really wanted to, I have a million rare candies. I could just level grind my team with rare candies until I just was completely above everybody. Like, even leveling them up with rare candies would make them stronger than everybody else. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick with them naturally leveling up, and we're going to go through the Elite Four without using rare candies on my Pokemon. Now, if I get really lazy, I may use like a rare candy or two to make a Pokemon evolve, just because I hate waiting. And I actually had 4 rare candies to begin with, so I can spare a couple, but I'm not going to go crazy with it. Like right there. I keep having to drop stuff. I completely forgot to do a little item dump in my PC. I'll occasionally do that whenever I find a new city, is I'll take any kind of TM or HM that I have that I'm not using, and I'll just dump it in my PC, because really, there's no need to use the HMs more than once if you have a Pokemon that's good to go with it. And I will usually just deposit every TM, regardless of what it is, until I can duplicate it, because a lot of the TMs in this game are really good, and you definitely want to use them more than once. I think the only one that I've used this game is the TM11, which was Bubble Beam on Gyarados, but that's because there's not really much else that's worth using it on. Oh, and you'll notice the video is a lot more smooth on this one, and it's not just jumping around all over the place. Also, I left my cursor in the middle of the window because I'm a noob. You don't have to comment on it. I see it there. I saw it there when I ended this, and I felt like a total moron. But I noticed that Screenium was capturing at 12 frames per second, and I don't know why I hadn't changed that, but that would explain a lot, considering that this game definitely moves at a lot more than 12 frames per second. And also, I was capturing keyframes for some reason, which made no sense whatsoever. But now it's going to be good. So, in the next episode, we will go to Saffron and have a look around there, see what's up in the good old big town. Until then, I'll see you guys. Thanks for coming on over, and yeah, see you guys next time.
All right.